1953 to late 1960s. Childhood and social environment. Jeffrey Epstein was born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York, to a working and middle-class family. His early life appeared ordinary, with no visible signs of wealth, political influence, or elite status. People who knew him described him as intelligent, observant, and quiet. Even at a young age, he appeared interested in how authority and social hierarchy functioned, noticing how some individuals gained access while others did not. Early 1970s education. Without credentials, Epstein enrolled in college but did not complete a degree. For most people, this would have limited opportunity. For him, it did not. The absence of formal qualifications became a defining feature of his life, raising long-standing questions about how he repeatedly gained access to credential-driven environments. Mid-1970s exposure to privilege. Despite limited qualifications, Epstein secured a teaching position at an elite private school attended by children of wealthy and influential families. This role placed him inside a protected world governed by discretion, legacy, and unspoken rules. This period introduced him to how elite networks function through familiarity, recommendation, and silence rather than transparency. Late 1970s entry into high finance. Epstein transitioned from education into finance, joining a major investment firm where he encountered wealth at the highest level, learning how capital moves quietly and how relationships matter more than visibility. His time at the firm ended under unclear circumstances, but the credibility and connections remained. Early 1980s reinvention and independence. After leaving the firm, Epstein reappeared as a private financial advisor, claiming to manage wealth for a small circle of extremely affluent clients. Public documentation was minimal, yet his lifestyle changed dramatically, signaling significant financial backing. Mid to late 1980s building an identity. Epstein refined his image as intellectually curious, globally connected, and financially sophisticated. He cultivated relationships, selectively avoided scrutiny, and kept his operations opaque. Verification became difficult and questions were often dismissed. 1990s wealth becomes physical. By the 1990s, Epstein wealth became visible through high-value properties in New York, Florida, New Mexico, and international locations. Private aircraft became routine. These assets signaled legitimacy and reduced scrutiny. 1990s social integration. Epstein appeared increasingly at gatherings involving academics, scientists, financiers, and policymakers. He supported research initiatives and attended conferences. His presence became normalized, even as details about his business remained unclear. Late 1990s control through structure. A close associate became central to Epstein's daily operations, managing travel schedules, introductions, and logistics. This structure reduced randomness and limited unsupervised access. Those inside experienced order, those outside encountered opacity. Early 2000s. A life ahead of scrutiny. Epstein lived across multiple properties and jurisdictions, traveling frequently. Concerns began surfacing locally, but struggled to gain traction across borders. Patterns appeared, yet accountability remained fragmented. The first paper trail as Epstein wealth and reach expanded. Records accumulated, travel logs, contact lists, staff schedules, financial arrangements, and settlements individually routine together, forming a growing paper trail. Investigations and sealed records. Local investigations produced documents, witness accounts, correspondence, and internal memos. Many were sealed, restricted, or confidential, limiting public understanding. Absence of transparency became part of the story. 2008 legal agreements and confidentiality. Epstein reached a state-level agreement that narrowed consequences. Documentation included plea arrangements, non-disclosure clauses, and settlements. Confidentiality fragmented the historical record, obscuring timelines and patterns. Travel logs and contact lists. These records showed proximity, not involvement. Investigators emphasized that names alone did not imply actions. Their deeper meaning lay in mapping access, influence, and elite connectivity. Financial records and institutional ties. Documents revealed donations to universities, foundations, and research programs. Institutions later reassessed donor screening. These records showed how legitimacy can be reinforced through philanthropy. Media investigations and unsealed filings. Years later, media pressure led to partial document releases, some redacted, some sealed. Staggered disclosure created confusion and speculation. 2019 Federal Case and Evidence Review. Authorities reopened the case, reviewing years of files to establish patterns and failures. The records revealed systemic gaps beyond individual behavior. Death in custody and shift in focus. After Epstein's death, the files became the primary record with no trial. The focus shifted to institutional responsibility and oversight. Civil proceedings and continued impact. Civil cases continued. A close associate was convicted. Institutions faced scrutiny. Some returned funds, others changed policies. The deeper meaning of the files. The files show how documentation can exist without action, how complexity protects influence, and how systems fail when accountability is deferred. Ongoing impact. The Epstein case remains a reference point for discussions about power, privilege, oversight, and transparency. Many records remain incomplete and many questions remain unanswered.